Did Kenny really deserve to die because he's saying, "I've got a 10-inch penis, use your mouth if you want to clean it," in the theme song every single week? Of course not. That's just Kenny being Kenny. But what about the bus driver who threatened to shoot a bunny in front of children? Or the manipulative father who used his own son for revenge? Those characters? They absolutely deserved what they got. South Park has killed off hundreds of characters over 27 seasons. Most deaths are throwaway gags. But then there are the deaths that felt earned. The deaths where even Matt and Trey said, "This person needs to suffer." So grab some popcorn, because we're about to dive into the most satisfying deaths in South Park history. Let's start with someone who you probably remember if you watched the early seasons. Veronica Crabtree was the bus driver for South Park Elementary, and she was absolutely terrible at her job. She treated every single child on that bus like they were prisoners in her personal torture chamber.
Good morning, Miss Crabtree.
Sit down! We're running late!
I'm sorry, little girl, but you still can't get on. You have to take the special ed bus.
Her signature move was screaming "sit down and shut up" at the top of her lungs whenever any kid made even the smallest sound. She had anger issues that would make a drill sergeant look calm and collected. The children were genuinely afraid of her, and she seemed to enjoy that fear. But the worst thing she ever did happened in the episode City on the Edge of Forever. The school bus ends up dangling off a cliff with all the kids trapped inside, and Mrs. Crabtree leaves to get help.
Be quiet back there! These roads are slick! You are such a fat f***. What did you say? Uh-oh!
I don't think we're in a very safe spot. Yeah, what are we supposed to do?
Just keep your trap shut. I'll consult the manual.
Sounds reasonable, right? Except she never actually gets help. Instead, she wanders off and somehow ends up pursuing a comedy career. She completely forgets about the children hanging over certain death because she got distracted by her own selfish desires.
That's right. With the children properly subdued, you can leave the bus and go out looking for assistance.
I'm going for help. Don't get off this bus or a big scary monster will eat you!
You guys, what if Miss Crabtree doesn't come back and we're all trapped here forever?
The kids could have died because of her. All of them. And she didn't even remember they existed.
And now here's your host, Jay Leno. Just relax, sweetheart. You're gonna kill out there.
Kill who?
Oh, that's great. Use that.
So when she finally met her end in Cartman's incredible gift, nobody shed a tear. A serial killer named Michael Dietz stabbed her multiple times, severed her hand, and even cut off her bird's wing for good measure. The cops who found her body made a comment about how she deserved better, but the show itself treated her death with a wink and a nod.
Her name is Veronica Crabtree, bus driver for the elementary school. She was considered an ancillary character, one the fans wouldn't miss much.
After years of terrorizing children and putting their lives at risk, the angry bus driver finally got silenced for good. And honestly, the school bus probably was a much more pleasant ride after that, but Mrs. Crabtree was just mean. The next person on our list was something far worse. Jack Tenorman seemed like a nobody when we first heard about him. He was just the father of Scott Tenorman, a 9th grader who made the mistake of messing with Eric Cartman. Scott sold Cartman his pubic hair for $10, and when Cartman realized he'd been scammed, he swore revenge. What followed in the episode Scott Tenorman Must Die became one of the most infamous moments in television history.
Hello, sir. My name is Chris Christopherson. I'm with the IRS. I'm here to collect $10 that you owe in back taxes.
All right. I'll trade you my pubes back for the money.
You will?
Here, just give me the $6, and then I'll give you the 20.
Okay.
Now, give me the pubes, and I'll give you back $2.
Right.
Now, give me the 12 cents, and I'll give you the rest of your change back. And then give me the 20, and I'll give you the pubes.
Sweet. God damn it!
Cartman wanted to destroy Scott completely, so Cartman came up with a plan so twisted that it still shocks people who watch it for the first time. He manipulated events so that Jack Tenorman and his wife would trespass on Farmer Dankin's property. Dankins, thinking they were thieves, shot them both dead. But Cartman wasn't finished. He took their bodies, ground them up into chili, and fed them to Scott at a chili cook-off. Scott ate his own parents without knowing. And when Cartman revealed what he had done, Scott's entire world collapsed.
Do you like it? Do you like it, Scott? I call it Mr. and Mrs. Tenorman chili.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Yeah. I made you eat your parents.
Now here's where things get complicated. At first, Jack seemed like an innocent victim caught in Cartman's psychotic revenge scheme. But years later in the episode 201, we learned the truth about who Jack Tenorman really was.
Protect who? Yes, protect who? Tell him, Mr. Jimbo!
Protect the Denver Broncos.
Jack was actually Eric Cartman's biological father. He had an affair with Eric Cartman's mother at the 12th annual Drunken Barn Dance. The entire town covered up the scandal to protect Jack and the Denver Broncos' reputation. Jack knew he had a son out there and did absolutely nothing about it. He let Cartman grow up without a father, never acknowledging him, never supporting him, and never being there for him.
Denver Broncos. There was a right tackle, see, who had an illegitimate child with your slut of a mom, and everyone here covered it up to protect the Bronco name.
Jack's affair also meant that Scott Tenorman was actually Cartman's half-brother. Family chaos that resulted from Jack's cheating rippled out and destroyed multiple lives. His selfishness and his willingness to abandon his own child make his death feel a lot less like murder and a lot more like karma finally catching up.
Jack Tenorman was your father. You killed your own father, and then you fed him to your half-brother!
Jack got exactly what he deserved. The man who abandoned his son got turned into jelly by that very same son. There's a twisted poetry to that ending. Speaking of twisted, our next entry involves someone who died multiple times and deserved every single one of those deaths. And no, it was not Kenny. It's Saddam. Saddam Hussein might hold the record for the most deserved deaths in South Park history. The show brought him back again and again just so they could send him back to hell in new and creative ways. And every single time, audiences cheered. His first appearance came in Terrence and Phillip in Not Without My Anus, where he invaded Canada with his army. He was portrayed as a whiny dictator with a high-pitched voice who wanted to conquer everything in sight. The Canadian forces eventually defeated him by unleashing a massive cloud of flatulence that choked him to death. Yes, he was literally killed by a giant fart. And somehow, that felt appropriate for someone so ridiculous and evil at the same time. But his most memorable appearances came in the movies South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, and the following seasons. Saddam ended up in hell, where he started a romantic relationship with Satan himself. Sounds like it might humanize him, right? Wrong. Saddam was emotionally and psychologically abusive to Satan throughout the entire relationship. He manipulated Satan constantly, pushing him toward plans of world domination. He cheated on Satan repeatedly.
It's Saddam. He doesn't nurture my emotions. He just wants sex and can't learn to communicate.
He murdered Satan's new boyfriend Chris multiple times out of jealousy. He treated the literal Prince of Darkness like garbage, and Satan put up with it because Saddam had completely broken down his self-esteem. In the movie, Satan finally had enough. He threw Saddam off a cliff, and Saddam landed on a stalagmite that pierced straight through his body. It was brutal, it was violent, and it was exactly what Saddam deserved for all the abuse that he had inflicted.
That's it! I have had enough of you!
But even death couldn't keep him down. Saddam later showed up in heaven of all places, where he started building weapons of mass destruction among the clouds. The show just kept finding new ways to make him worse and new ways to punish him for it. His final major appearance came in It's Christmas in Canada, where he disguised himself as Canada's new prime minister and started passing laws designed to cause suffering across the country. Even when pretending to be someone else, Saddam couldn't help but be a tyrant.
I am the Prime Minister of Canada. I can do whatever I... don't mind that guy hiding in the spider hole. He's just my friend.
Between the torture, the manipulation, the assassination attempts, and the constant bids for world domination, Saddam Hussein earned every single death that the show gave him. And the audience laughed every single time because he made himself so easy to hate.
Don't shoot. I want to negotiate. Hey, relax.
Wait a minute. This means all the Prime Minister's new laws are null and void. We can have our horses back.
And we can drink our wine. And I can sodomize me boys again.
Our next villain took a different approach. Instead of brute force and intimidation, this one used lies and deception to nearly destroy the entire world. Leonard Badragger seemed like a hero when he first appeared in Season 20. He was the CEO of Troll Trace, a Danish company that promised to expose internet trolls and bring justice to their victims. After a young woman named Freya Olegard killed herself because of online harassment, Leonard became the face of the anti-trolling movement. He gave speeches, he launched crowdfunding campaigns, he promised to make the internet a safer place.
I am announcing here and to the world that a plan to destroy the troll is underway. For in Denmark, there is one thing we have known for centuries. To get the troll to come out of hiding.
And all of it was a lie. Leonard was the ultimate troll himself. His real plan was to use Troll Trace to expose everyone's internet history all at once. causing worldwide chaos, destroying relationships, ending careers, and starting wars between nations. He wanted to watch the world burn, and he built an entire company just to light the match. Throughout Season 20, we watched him activate Troll Trace in test cities, causing immediate destruction as people's private messages and search histories became public. Marriages fell apart, friendships ended, violence erupted in the streets, and Leonard watched it all with a smile on his face.
Please! You have to let me out of here! Skankhut, stop! Yes, please! You're making a very jackass of yourself!
His hypocrisy made him even worse. He pretended to care about trolling victims while secretly being the biggest troll of all. He used a dead woman's memory to fund his operation. He kidnapped actual trolls and planned to humiliate them on live television. Everything about him was fake, designed to maximize suffering while making himself look like a saint.
What's the matter, Skankhunt? You just can't stand to be outdone, huh? Get out of my way! What you're doing is wrong! What I'm doing is wrong. How is getting millions of people to kill themselves different from getting one person to?
In the season finale, The End of Serialization as We Know It, Gerald Broflovsky finally confronted Leonard at Troll Trace headquarters. After a struggle, Gerald kicked him in the groin and threw him off a walkway. Leonard fell to his death, with plans crumbling along with his body.
And all I see is a big, fat reflection of myself, with only one minor difference. Oh! No! Ah! Fuck you!
For a man who spent an entire season lying to the world and trying to start global warfare, falling off a platform felt almost too easy. But at least he didn't get to see his dream of worldwide destruction come true. The next person on our list was even better at hiding their true nature, because this one didn't even look human. Leslie Myers seemed just like another fourth grader at South Park Elementary. She sat in class, she attended school events, and she blended in perfectly with all the other kids. Nobody suspected anything was wrong with her because she looked and acted completely normal.
Today we're going to be showing you some art from our Asian American students. Damn it, Leslie, shut your fucking pie hole!
Huh? But Leslie was actually a sentient advertisement disguised as a human being.
There she is, officers, right there. I told you to stop chatting with your friends, didn't I, Leslie? You see, officers, apparently Leslie thinks that talking to her friends is more important than learning about diversity in third world countries. It's that one. That's her right there. You're removed from my school. Oh, nobody move! What's happening? Get her out of here! They've got me!
Throughout Season 19, Leslie revealed herself to be one of the most dangerous villains the show had ever created. She could mimic voices perfectly.
God bless you, teaser.
And may God bless the United States of America.
She had human strength. She could jam electronic signals and insert advertisements directly into people's brains. And she used all these abilities to manipulate everyone around her.
We have another child here who is special too. Do you know Leslie?
All right, that's good. Everyone get inside. Everything past here is safe space.
She tricked Jimmy Vollmer into helping her escape when authorities started getting suspicious. And all because Jimmy was thinking with his dick. Jimmy thought he was protecting an innocent girl from wrongful accusations, but instead, he was helping a literal ad monster avoid capture.
Well, Jimmy, what do you think?
Does she know she's an ad?
He can spot them.
Bruh.
When Jimmy was no longer useful to her, Leslie attacked him without hesitation. She manipulated Kyle Broflovsky the same way, playing on his emotions and his desire to do the right thing. Kyle genuinely believed that Leslie was a victim who needed protection. He had no idea he was being used as a pawn in a scheme to take over the world through advertising.
What about the ads?
Leslie's ultimate goal was complete global domination through ads. She wanted to brainwash humanity into mindless consumers who would buy whatever products her masters told them to buy. Every relationship she formed was fake. Every tear she cried was calculated, and every word out of her mouth was designed to manipulate. In the episode PC Principal Final Justice, the truth finally came out. PC Principal, who had been suspicious of Leslie for a while, confronted her at the South Park gun show. Leslie tried to use her manipulation tactics on him, but PC Principal was not having it. He grabbed her head and smashed it open, revealing the mechanical wiring inside.
Hey, Leslie! Your species took PC and twisted it for evil purposes. That pisses me off!
The girl who had fooled everyone turned out to be a robot filled with circuits and evil programming. And PC Principal ended her threat permanently by destroying the hardware that made her function.
Yes, dude!
For a villain who betrayed everyone that was trying to help her and planned to enslave humanity through advertising, getting her head bashed in felt like the only appropriate ending. Now let's give a quick shout out to some creatures who absolutely deserve their deaths, even if they looked adorable doing it. The Woodland critters appeared in the episode Woodland Critter Christmas. With their big eyes and cheerful voices, they seemed like something out of a children's Christmas special. But here's the catch. Cartman actually created these creatures. He made up the story just to mock Kyle and cause chaos. And the monsters he imagined? They looked cute and cuddly, but getting anywhere near them is the worst thing you could ever do.
Can you really? Would you really? Okay.
These things were actually satanic cultists who gang raped a whole platoon of soldiers, and Kurt Russell, to death. They meet their end while trying to bring about the birth of the Antichrist.
Now don't be down, y'all. Stanley can help us find a non-baptized heathen human.
Will you really, Stanley? No! I came here to put a stop to all this.
To stop us? But gee whiz, Stan, if you tried to stop us, we'd have to use our evil satanic powers on you.
Right, whatever. I'm taking down the manger I built.
Squirrely the squirrel, Barry the bear, Rabbity the rabbit, and all their friends performed blood rituals and sacrifices in the forest. They manipulated Stan into helping them with their evil plans, just by saying, "That's alright, yo."
Alright, what the hell is going on? Why is there a red star glowing in the sky?
We finally did it, Santa. We brought forth the Antichrist with help from our good friend Stanny.
Santa Claus himself showed up with a shotgun to deal with them in the original episode. And honestly, that felt like the only reasonable response to murderous satanic woodland creatures. But now let's talk about the characters who should have died but somehow kept getting away with everything. Some of the most evil characters on the show have never faced any real consequences for their actions. They keep doing horrible things season after season, and they just keep getting away with it. Eric Cartman has committed more crimes than everyone else on this list combined. He fed a kid his own parents. He has promoted racism, manipulation, and cruelty in almost every episode. He has gotten people killed through his schemes.
On his property, he shot and killed both your parents. Do you like it, Scott? I call it Mr. and Mrs. Tenorman chili.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Nya, nya, nya. I made you eat your parents. Nya, 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 nya.
He also treats his mom like absolute shit, let's not forget that. By any reasonable standard, Cartman deserves the most painful death imaginable. But he's the main character. He drives the show forward. So I guess he gets a pass and can live. Mr. Garrison became president and implemented policies that endangered the entire world. He promoted bigotry and hatred on a global stage. He threatened nuclear war. And all these things he did was just because he was a caricature for President Donald Trump. Any real person who did what Garrison did would face serious consequences. Unless you're President Donald Trump, I guess.
Did she really throw her voice with two dummies at once?
The bitch must die!
But Garrison keeps coming back because the writers aren't done with him yet.
Things changed.
Hi there, you got a minute for gay rights?
Gay rights? Jeez, you already got all those. What the hell do you want to do now?
Randy Marsh has done increasingly terrible things over the years. He started Integrity Farms and became obsessed with marijuana to the point that he neglected his family.
Dad, Mom says to stop trying to give yourself cancer.
Just gonna get a little bit of cancer, Stan. Tell Mom it's okay.
Randy has done unspeakable things to a pangolin, brought a pandemic to South Park, and caused destruction in the town over and over again. Yet, Randy never faces real consequences. He just moves on to his next stupid idea like nothing happened.
This is crazy. How can they just take away my house? Where am I supposed to put all my things? I don't have a place for all my stuff. Where am I supposed to put all my stuff? Put in a little change? Change?
The difference between these characters and the ones who died comes down to one thing. The villains who died were created to be hated and destroyed. They served their purpose, but then they got eliminated. However, Cartman, Garrison, and Randy are too important to the show's DNA. They're protected by plot armor just because South Park needs them to keep causing problems. So we can keep watching, because let's be honest, we love these guys. If everything is just fine and dandy, we might get bored. I mean, after all, we need problems and conflict, and these guys are the perfect ones to cause it. So the next time you watch South Park and see a villain meet a gruesome end, remember that the show is very intentional about who lives and who dies. Justice only comes for the characters the writers decide should receive it. That's it for this video, but like and subscribe for more cartoon content.
I'm gonna get Scott Tenorman once and for all!